Hi, everybody. I'm John Chrastka, Executive Director for EveryLibrary and the EveryLibrary Institute. I'm joined today by my colleague Kati Szeker, our producer for the 2021 Artist in Residence program here at EveryLibrary. We want to just take a few minutes today on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, to tell you about how excited we are to be able to host and launch the 2021 Artist in Residence program today. EveryLibrary, as you know, I hope, because you're on our Facebook page already, is a political action committee for libraries. We work on the local library funding campaigns. We work on school library initiatives to make sure the school librarian is in the building and has a collection that they need to support the curriculum. We work on initiatives at the state level and federally to make sure that there's a funding formula for librarianship in libraries of all type. One of the reasons that we do that work is because we believe very strongly that there should be someone in the community. There should be someone on campus and in the schools helping with the information literacy needs of children and families and individuals, helping people find the stuff that they enjoy reading, that they need to find for research or for business development. It's a more interesting place to live. It's a more thriving place to live. It's a more prosperous place to live. And education goes so much better when there's that information literacy professional in the space. We do this work every day, all around the country. And every other year, we want to take a pause in the political work. Because politics for libraries, well, you think to yourself, why do we need a political action committee for libraries? You need to have somebody focused on the taxes. But the thing about focusing on taxes, which pay for the common good, to make sure that we've got the infrastructure we need, that have an education funding formula that means school librarians are there for every kid, every student, politics and taxes make Americans crazy. And one of the things that we want to be able to do is take a pause occasionally from just focusing on politics to do something that I think is very important and goes back to the founding of our republic. It goes back to, well, really the founding of why, how do we talk not just about taxes, but about some of the bigger ideas in society? How do we move not just to the idea that there's a dollar amount attached to institutions, but to talk about the people who work there, the transformational work that's being done, and to pause and reflect. So every other year, odd numbered years, 2021 right now is our, well, there's no presidential election. There's no congressional election. Somebody running for the House or the Senate right now. Most states are not even doing any sort of legislature campaigns right now. It's a good time to pause. It's a good time to reflect, to bring together the politics that we do all the time with the arts, and to have that leavening conversation about, and the reflective conversation about who we are as people. The Artist in Residence program this year is being produced by our friend and colleague Kati Szeker. I want to introduce you to Kati today and ask her to share a little bit about the artists that she's brought in. Kati is a recent graduate of the San Jose State University, Master's in Library Sciences program. She wrapped up about 2 months ago with her MLS program. We had the pleasure of meeting her as one of our interns, academic interns at the time. And she's also someone who is not only in library land, but also in the art world. She runs and curates and owns in Long Beach a space called Gallery 73, Art Gallery 73. And Kati, I think it was the best bit of kismet ever, that we not only had a little bit of time with you academically, but then, I mean, when you first heard about the Artist in Residence concept, I mean, 2021, we did 2015, 2017, 2019. We started talking about planning ahead. What did you first think when we introduced this idea?
Well, first of all, thank you for your introduction. That was very, very well said about EveryLibrary. And I learned a lot during my internship with you when I was still in school. And going through the program, as you feel so passionate about politics and libraries, I feel similarly about art and libraries, because I feel like that art should be available for everybody. And going through the library program, I felt like that I could bring that closer to everybody and make it available, not just on a museum and a more snooty level, but also for the community. So working in a library or working with libraries, we could bring art to students, to the neighbors, to everybody locally, and they wouldn't have to go and find these places. They could just walk into the library and experience art. So that's why I was super excited to be the producer for the artist residency for EveryLibrary in 2021, because I felt like that my passion of introducing art and bringing it to the common level could come together working with you.
And there's a lot of joy there on both of our parts. It's been a really good collaboration so far. I've never asked you before, why did you get into libraries? I mean, why did you go get a master's degree in library and information sciences?
Well, to say the story short, so I worked in museums before. I grew up in Europe and I experienced different cultures and traveling. I visited many museums and I always loved restoration. I studied art restoration, paper, and my love for libraries, being around books, smelling the books and opening them up and experiencing the library itself in different places. I thought, well, why not bring the two together? Working in an art museum and having, for example, the Huntington Library has amazing collection of work, but also do art. So trying to bring the two together was my passion, and I'm happy to say that I completed my degree.
Congratulations! And so you also own and curate Art Gallery 73 in Long Beach. Wondering what is your favorite type of art or kind of artist to curate and to exhibit? I mean, are you a generalist? What's your passion there?
I founded my gallery back in 2015 when the art world was more in person, going to galleries and the museums, and I wanted to have a concept where people can just access it online anywhere from the world, and representing artists from Eastern Europe, because how would anyone from United States would see or would be able to experience art from other countries. So my favorite work of art is contemporary art. I know it's a little bit hard concept to understand for some people, but there are so many different types and so many amazing artists that I wanted to give room. I wanted to help these artists be visible. My mom was an artist. She was a potter, a ceramist, and I spent hours and hours, years in her studio after school. And the struggle that she had to face selling her work, I felt like that later on, I could maybe help artists sell their work, and they can just focus on their beautiful creation instead of dealing with the business aspect of art. So having this art gallery was helping me to make this dream come true.
I think that's fantastic. So when we've been talking over the months and leading up to today's introduction of the Artist in Residence program for 2021, we've been thinking a lot together about the intersection of arts and politics, of libraries and the arts and libraries and politics. I mean, it's an interesting matrix. Can you tell us a little bit about why and who you chose? I mean, you have a fantastic network of visual artists, performance artists, etc. I'm sure it wasn't an easy choice.
So when you said the intersectionality of politics, libraries, and art, I thought to myself, okay, this sounds really beautiful and great, but how am I going to bring this together? But when I started thinking about it, the more I thought of it and the more I sat down and dissected it separately, I realized they are not separate. It is all connected. And when I thought of that connection, I felt like we always have exhibitions and different venues. So it's only for art, only for music, and only for another types of creation. And I thought, why don't we just bring all of these amazing artists together, a poet, a musician, and an art and a visual artist together, just like how we didn't think of that politics, libraries, and art could be together. This could be together. We have this common theme to be connected, to make awareness of how things are related, things are connected, especially what you said in the beginning in your introduction, that politics is a big part of our lives every day. We just don't realize it. So regardless of who you are, an artist, a teacher, a common worker, anywhere in the world, taxes are important, politics are important because it influences your life. So the three artists coming together, I thought also will bring some kind of awareness of how we are connected regardless of who you are, where you are. And that's why I picked 3 different artists in 3 different disciplines.
Well, let's meet them all today.
Great. One of the artists that I have chosen for the Artist in Residency Program 2021 for EveryLibrary is Victoria Hortado. Now let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a young, vibrant female artist, graduated from Cal State Long Beach just this past year. And she's definitely not shy about expressing human emotions, pains, grief, love, sex, anything you can think of. And you will see in her poetry that exemplifies her emotions so well. And I'm super excited to share her work with you. And here's why we're excited about Victoria's work. Jen, please run the video.
I am Victoria Hortado Angulo, and I am a poet that lives in Long Beach, California. I found myself doing diary entries, and within the diary entries, it wasn't just full sentences being done, but it was more like fragments. It didn't look like poetry until I got used to the idea of, well, I guess I'm writing this way, so I might as well continue. And that's when I started writing in an artistic manner, because that's how I perceive the world. If I had to describe my work, it would be put this way. I am your 80-year-old tour guide, oblivious yet composed, showing you things of death, sex, and oddities living in the world I create. It's entertaining, it's unpredictable, and couldn't be done in a more eccentric manner. That's how I would describe it. When I go to the library, I like to capture the people for the sake of remembering what it means to be a community, and that in itself is political. I'm honored to be the face of poetry in this project. I'm trying to just learn from everyone at this point. And I knew once I read the description, like, we're gonna have visual art, she does collage work, and then we're gonna have Ray, and he's a musician and a professor. I'm like, wow, I can't say no to this.
The other artist that I thought of immediately when I heard about producing this residency program was Ray Briggs. He is a jazz musician, he's a saxophone player, he's a teacher, and first and foremost, he's a humanist. I say that because he believes in the power of music, and he believes the healing power of music and how important it is in our lives to have music every day. And this is why we're excited about his work. Jen, if you can show us the video. Thank you.
My name is Ray Briggs. I am the Assistant Director of Jazz Studies at California State University, Long Beach. I'm an artist educator. I'm a saxophone player. Libraries have always been important spaces in my life. But as a grad student, I was spending hours in the library. Then I started to learn more about how do you find sources and how do you find things that are related, right? And this is a part that I think I try to share with my younger students, is that there are a lot of things you can't get online than in the library. There's some things that have not been digitized that you only get physically. So you have to go, if certain types of research call for it, you have to be there, right? And so I think we do our students a great disservice if we let them think that they can find everything that they need just online. I never saw it as being something where, only people who are trained do it, only people that are on this, so-called higher level do it. But music expresses, the feelings, thoughts, aspirations of everyone. So I saw it as kind of like if you're human, then music is a part of your experience. It's appealing to me to work with this project because I think art, it flows from the same well of creativity and, exploration. What drives the artist? Not so much what is the finished product, right? But what is it they're thinking about? What is it that they're feeling? Because I think at that level, we're all the same. I mean, there are probably some things that I feel that a poet might feel, and then in their craft, they express it this way. but I think we rarely talk about, have space for those conversations to take place.
The third artist that I would like to introduce is Corrine Lightweaver. She brings her wisdom, her experience to this event because she experienced physical and mental illnesses in her life. And through art, it helped her coping with the many aspects and many varieties of pain and emotions. And art helped her process as well as heal her emotional state of mind. And she still uses art as a coping mechanism to deal with mental illness. And she is hoping also to inspire conversations about mental illness and how art can be a healing tool for everybody. And this is why I'm excited about Corrine's work. Jen, please run the video.
My name is Corrine Lightweaver. I'm an artist who works in acrylics, oils, mixed media, collage, and assemblage. I share my personal experiences so that I can connect with others. My work on breast cancer, when I've exhibited it, people have come up to me and been grateful that they see something that expresses their own journey. And in my work with mental health, the same thing. In terms of my collage work, the best way to describe it is surrealism. It is a way that I access my unconscious and get the pictures out on paper, and then I come back to it and look at it, and then I'm able to interpret the meaning of it. Libraries are so close to my heart. I am excited to celebrate librarians who have led me to so many new discoveries and helped me when I've done research for school and otherwise. And I love libraries and all they have to offer.
That was wonderful. Kati, thank you so much for bringing these artists to us. I'm looking forward over the next 2 months to get to know a little bit more about the work that they're all doing. You speak about the power of their art, the healing power, the transformational power. And I know that transcends into libraries as well. It'll be very interesting to see how they reflect on the library experience, how they call us to reflect also on the American experience and the experience of living together in society. What are we supposed to be expecting now between now and the 2nd of November when we wrap up?
So let me tell you about this. It's amazing. Throughout the month of September, October, wrapping up in November, every Tuesday, we will be showcasing one of the artists, and not just the artist, but how they have came and put together their work and the process of how they have gone through this process. So every Tuesday, follow us on social media, September, October, and wrapping up in November, and keep you posted about any live events that will happen.
Absolutely. So some of it's going to be, we're going to post that Tuesday, folks. Some of it's going to be a live event. Again, here on Facebook, please like us, please share about us. EveryLibrary.org. You can sign up right there. We also have on EveryLibrary.org some written blog posts about the Artists in Residence program. You can see the videos again. We're really excited to be in this mix with you, and our sincere hope for November 2nd, because the reason that we put this on, during this quiet period from Labor Day, essentially, yesterday, to Election Day, usually the first Tuesday of November, except there's nothing going on this year because it's 2021, is because it's the traditional campaign season. So our hope, and Kati, I know you're working on it, is not just to do a virtual event, but depending on how things are going with COVID, to do something live and in person in Pasadena or in that part of Southern California. So definitely, if you're in that area, let's pay attention together, and maybe we can get together in person too.
And John, can I just tell you, there is a political event that's happening in California.
It's going to happen?
So please make sure by September 15th, yes, by September 15th, you put your ballot in.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. All right, folks. Kati, thank you for today. Thank you for putting in the time to curate this, to be our producer, and then for the next 2 months to help share these beautiful people with the world. On behalf of EveryLibrary and the whole team, folks, have a great evening. Bye-bye.